But we really gave it a lot of consideration, a lot of discussion, and yes, prayer. And we took 2 weeks to make the decision. And as I thought about this, I realized two things. Number one, if we don't turn things around, I won't have a company in the future anyway. So maybe this is my opportunity to do my patriotic duty, to perhaps go down to Austin and make a change. Now remember, I had never run for office. I really knew nothing about it. The Tea Party was my first position as an activist, like many of you. But we made the decision to run. And within days, people came, Tea Party activists came together, and we put together a campaign team. Individuals just like you that were activists for the first time. Each individual except for Diane Nussbaum. Diane Nussbaum is a blessing to each one of us, to our country, if I could be so bold. We put together a campaign strategy, unlike any that had ever been put together before. I was determined that to win this office, it needed to be done above board. It needed to be done the way our founding fathers envisioned it should be done. Not with the power people and the connections, and not because I had deep pockets and I could buy the campaign. I was determined that if we were going to win this campaign, we were going to do it because the people wanted us to win. And you did. You all came forward. I see so many of you that are volunteers to the Stand With Wayne campaign. We have knocked on doors. We have called people. We have run a campaign with a limited budget. But we have done it with a patriotism and a passion unlike any campaign that has ever been run, I know, in Texas. So you say, well, Wayne, that's great. How is the campaign doing? Some of you may know my district, 66. Our previous representative was the all-powerful 19-year incumbent, Rhino, Republican in name only. And when I first was offered the chance to run, and I did my research, everyone, except for Diane, said he cannot be beat. Other candidates, other individuals, had looked at running against this individual, but he was too powerful. He could not be taken down. But our campaign persisted, and we moved forward, perhaps with naivety, but with patriotism. We moved forward, we knocked on doors, we educated the people, and they were hungry to hear the message. They were hungry to hear that there was a candidate that wanted to go do the right thing for reasons of patriotism. I want to go to office as a patriotic statesman, not as a politician. We knocked on doors, we wore big buttons, we handed out our flyers, and our message began to resonate. And when we started this campaign in July, we were on the radar screen of our opponent. And just several weeks ago, after a Tea Party effort and all the work that we put into it, he ran, we're told, a poll to determine where we were as a campaign. Remember, we're just grassroots. We cannot be a threat. We don't have the money. We don't have the connections. And lo and behold, from what we've been told, the poll came back very unfavorable for the incumbent. When I say the Tea Party can succeed, I mean it. That incumbent announced he will no longer run for the seat in District 66. We all, and when I say we, I include myself, because you remember I started out as a Tea Party activist. My heart is with you. Now, do I think that we have easy times ahead because we're organized? No. I think we have a battle ahead in Texas and across the nation, unlike many of us have ever seen. Unlike a nightmare that we ever could have dreamed could have happened to our country. But do I believe we can take our country back? Yes, I do. Do I believe that we could once again fall upon the principles, the cornerstones, the columns of our Constitution? Yes. Do I believe that we can bring God back into the city halls, into our classrooms? Yes, I do. I believe that we have traversed down this difficult road because we have been silenced. A concerted effort by the secularists and the progressives to silence us. Silence is no longer an option. We must be vocal. We must be patriots. And we must be proud. And we must let everyone know that we want our country back. So I ask you to be diligent in your research, to be sure that you go and vote on March 2nd in the primary, because here in Collin County, this primary is key. I cannot stress that point more emphatically. There is a battle between progressives and conservatives in this Collin County area and in my district. So I ask you to be diligent, to do your research, and ensure that the people that you vote for are true patriotic statesmen. People that have the right motivations and purpose in their heart. Individuals that understand what liberty means, what freedom is all about, and understands what the free market can do, what capitalism means, not only for our country, but for the world. Be sure you vote for the right individual. But be sure to vote. Because if you don't go to the polls, all the meetings in the world that we have across this country will mean nothing. We have got to vote. Of course, as a candidate, I ask you to consider me. But I want you to know, if I am honored with the opportunity to go to Austin, I will go down there and I will fight for you. I will fight for our Constitution. I will fight for our liberties. I will fight for our freedoms. And as a small businessman, I will fight for our ability to compete locally and internationally. I'm Wayne Richard, and thank you all very much. God bless America, and Merry Christmas.